Hey, what's up, man? Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
How, how y'all doing? This is KLA, Cloud the Wanderer. About to give it to you. I have usually, I don't always have guests like this. He's an artist, and he created a comic called Tempo, and his story, how he got into comics, just illustrating. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Betou.
Hey, nice to meet y'all.
Yeah, nice to, yeah, man. I mean, yeah, like I was saying, but before we was recording that, I seen your work. I came across your work on Instagram, and some dude with the mask, he was showcasing your work and stuff. And I was like looking at it, it's like, wow, this kind of remind me of the Avatar for some reason,
Oh
because
yeah.
the fantasy, yeah, like yeah, it's cool. Like I liked it.
Yeah, thank you. Well,
So.
yeah, I like the Avatar a lot. I like the original, the Last Airbender a ton, but the Legend of Korra is good too. I like their like world building and how it feels like it's not just like a story about the Avatar. It's like you happen to be following the Avatar, but the rest of the world is really built up. So it feels like you could just, I don't know, shift the story to another character and it would still be as interesting. Like it feels like we're just seeing a like brief moment in this world's like history. So I definitely try to use elements like that in my storytelling as well. I think they do a good job about that.
Yeah, so what's that about? Like tempo, like
Yeah, sure.
how
So
what kind of
yeah, it's like set in a
no that
world where people get power from music essentially. So the main
yeah
character gets her song stolen and she has to go on like a big journey to get it back. And I'm combining elements of like hip hop and like streetwear, like we were talking about, with like fantasy and like dragons and swords and elves and stuff. So yeah, so the story just kind of follows her and then her like getting a band of like friends together to get her song back from this famous rapper who had stole it from her.
oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Um
thank you.
but like you seem very young. Like how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
No, you're good. I'm 25. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you still young. I mean, you old enough to be
Yeah.
my son. I'm 47, so you know, it's cool, like, cause you don't really see, I never really seen like too much of that, like, music incorporated with comics and stuff.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe I've seen it with animation.
it's a little tough to do with comics because there's no like sound in comics. It's just like a strictly
Yeah.
visual medium. So there's like workarounds around it. I see people do like, panels or speech bubbles where they have like the music lyrics and then like the little like music logos, I guess. I kind of
Mhm.
just like insinuate that music is playing, like if they're at a party or in the club or something. People will be dancing and like drinking and having fun and stuff, but I won't like put the lyrics like in the book. I'll just like let people, I don't know, kind of use their own imagination to imagine what the music would sound like to them. But yeah, it's a little bit tougher to do in the comic book form. But I really love music, but I'm just terrible at it. So this is like as close as I can get to it.
Yeah, we all can't be, musicians, so we just
Yeah.
gotta love we just gotta love it. You ever thought about like putting it like in the comic, like some music, like get a rapper or a
Yeah.
singer or anything?
I was in the like early stages of the book. I was talking to a group of producers from Oakland, which is where I'm from. And we were gonna make like a little short album to go with the book's release, just like 5 tracks or something. But yeah,
Right.
it just kind of fell through, and I don't know, it didn't align super good, so we didn't do it. But I definitely considered, and I still want to once I finish the series, make a little like album to go with it. I've also like considered making like just a playlist in general, and then having some kind of like QR code or something that'll link to the playlist so people can like, I don't know, read the book and then go to the playlist and listen to the stuff. But I really like the idea of making like new music for it, like music that was like meant
Yeah.
for the series specifically. Um, yeah.
Growing up, like how was you? How did you like? Was hip hop your thing, or you had
Um,
other love?
Yeah, I mean, I liked a lot of stuff. Music wise, definitely like that was like mostly what I listened to. I listened to some like more indie music like in middle school and stuff, but like high school onwards, I pretty much just listened to hip hop and mostly rap. And then in my like early years of college is when I started listening to more like R&B and maybe more like alternative stuff. But I've always like just through all of that really liked MF Doom. Like he's just been my favorite rapper. So yeah, but yeah, I've definitely listened to mostly hip hop most of my life.
Yeah, yeah. They kind of hip hop kind of grew on me like maybe like in my teens. Not
Hmm.
really like in the 80s, Run DMC when they came
Yeah.
out. I remember, I had to be like in the fifth grade or something, and I went to it was a music store, and my father went in there, and I seen like this Run DMC like they had like two sides of the album, like Walk This
Hmm.
Way and King of Rock. And I
Yeah.
wanted it and I was listening to it. I was like enjoying it. But when I was growing up, I kind of like I started listening to like the 50 music, like 50s rock and roll and stuff.
Yeah.
My father he would play like these oldies and stuff from the 60s,
Hmm.
50s, 60s, mostly, sometimes
Yeah.
70s and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I've always like enjoyed music and stuff. So, you know,
Yeah.
but
Um,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. My when we would like clean the house on weekends and stuff, my dad's side of the family is from West Africa, so my
yeah,
grandma would play like yeah, my grandma would play like music from the Congo and stuff, and I guess I listened to some of that growing up as well when I was younger. That just made me remember that stuff as well. Um, but
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's
what
interesting.
part, what part, what part of West Africa?
They're from the Congo.
Oh, Congo. Oh, okay, okay. My
Yeah.
my my folks are from Liberia.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's cool. I mean, I've never been to Liberia. I've been to the Congo once when I was younger.
yeah,
I was a little too young to appreciate it, I think, but it's cool out there. It's nice. Yeah,
yeah,
I like it out there, and
yeah.
I try to incorporate
Yeah.
like. Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
No, I was just saying I never been there.
Oh
Never
yeah.
been
Well,
out.
if you could make the trip, I mean, it's definitely just getting out the country in general is really cool. But especially going back to like where your folks are from, I think that's like I don't know, seeing kind of like where they grew up and everything is tight. But yeah, I try to incorporate some of that like architecture into some of the like areas in Tempo as well. I incorporate like architecture from like a lot of South Asian places as well and like the Middle East, but I'll also always try to squeeze in some like West African stuff, whether that's like architecture, or like maybe like a more, um, I'll look at some like more ancient clothing and then try to bring it up to like modern day or almost futuristic kind of thing. So I always try to like pick and choose little things from there, kind of throw it in.
Yeah, so like did you go to school for like art or something like that or
Kinda. So in middle school and high school, I went to this charter art school in Oakland. It was called Oakland School for the Arts. It's basically like academics in the morning and then art classes in the afternoon. So I was practicing like my drawing skills and everything there for a while. And I had some really like really good teachers for that. And then I went to Savannah College of Art and Design in Georgia,
yeah,
but I only attended 2 years and then I dropped out. But I did go a little.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I took like a art instruction. I went to art instruction school, like, but it
Hmm.
wasn't like it was based in Minneapolis, and they would send you like an art test. So it
Oh
was
yeah.
like 12 lessons. Yeah, and I
Mm.
completed it, but it didn't really get me no. I didn't do anything with it. Yeah. So,
Sorry,
but
sometimes
like
stuff.
no, I was just saying like in this art school, like Charles Schwartz, for the one that created the Peanuts,
Hmm.
the Charlie Brown. He did that school. He attended to that school,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, yeah. And a
Mm.
lot of people have a lot of people they took it and they kind of went forward or something,
Yeah.
but it's yeah. I mean I like comics and animation mostly Like I took like a course like in alternative comics, and
Uh-huh.
that was the mostly experience that I had with comics, like how to make comics and stuff like that. So
Yeah. No, I mean, I definitely love storytelling in general, and I think comics is like, at least for me, it's like one of the best ways just because I don't really love working in like big team settings. I like just kind of doing it myself. So I think if you have like the time and like the drive to do it, you can just do it alone as opposed to like
right,
animation where you need like at least a few people to really get it going or any other form. And then I love the visuals too, so obviously I could like write a book, but I think having that visual element to it just makes it like a little bit more I don't know, just more fun for me, more appealing, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. How long it took you to do this, like Tempo?
I started in 2019, like late in 2019. I kind of been working on it on and off. I always like pick up little projects here and there, um, to like help keep the lights on, and then I'm always like working on like a side project just for myself too. So yeah, it's been since like 2019, and I'm working on the fourth book right now. So they're not coming out super
Yeah.
fast, but but yeah, I just keep doing little side projects in between the books, so it's taking like a little longer.
So it's mostly basically like this girl. She's on this journey, and
Mhm.
can you walk me through it again? Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
like
yeah. No, you're good. Yeah,
but like,
she like gets her song stolen essentially in the first book by this famous rapper, and then she kind of just spends the rest of the series trying to get the song back, and then throughout that
okay,
journey she'll like encounter new friends and new people to like join her like her party like in a fantasy video game or something, and they each have
yeah,
different like skills and abilities and stuff that work in tandem with her stuff to I don't know, solve problems. I like doing stories where they solve problems not just like through beating stuff up, but they can like solve it like through words or solve it through like
right,
I don't know, intelligence, like just like or political intrigue or center like any like other way other than just like beating someone up. But yeah, so she like joins a band of people and they get her song back kind of thing. Everyone has like their own interests and goals and stuff. But the main goal is like to get that song back for her.
yeah. That's interesting. I mean, that could be like for like a cartoon movie or something like that. That'd be
Yeah,
really
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. It'd be tight to
Yeah,
have it animated. It would definitely. I've only animated like two little like gifs, maybe like 2 seconds, like
yeah,
looping. But yeah, it'd be tight to see that happen.
yeah, yeah. But you was learning it by yourself with the animation, or
Yeah, yeah. I just YouTubed like how to do it. I use Photoshop to color, and I had learned on YouTube how to do that as well. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of resources for free online to like learn new skills. So yeah, I just YouTubed it and
yeah,
you know, took a
yeah. I've
few hours.
heard. Yeah, yeah. I see bits and pieces of it, but I don't know. Like it, it I don't know. Like for me, it's kind of it seems for me my experience. On it's like I had to kind of like learn from other people because I didn't know anything about animation. So I went to
Yeah.
like the School of Visual Arts, and a lot of stuff that because they teach you I took a class in traditional animation, and so
Yeah.
the teacher he was kind of breaking down things that I didn't even like know. I just knew like just drawing and stuff, but I
Mhm.
wasn't like I don't think, at the time, like it was kind of like me kind of like just now knowing about YouTube and stuff like that. This was like 2013
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I took the class like 2012, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously the best to like learn on hands, like from someone, especially like a professor, since they're like trained to, teach people how to pick up new skills and stuff. But I think if you don't have like access to that kind of thing, I think YouTube and stuff is also like a really good resource. Um, and yeah, I mean, college isn't for everyone, I guess, but I think anyone can like learn a skill, just through I don't know, other means like YouTube and stuff like that. But yeah, when I did go to college, I did enjoy it a lot. It was cool. I like the classroom setting. I like doing critiques and um, sharing work with like your peers and everything. I enjoy like I enjoy the idea of college, I guess. And then the reality sometimes like conflicts with that, I guess.
Yeah, but the thing is, college it costs a lot of costs a lot of
Yeah,
money and stuff.
yeah,
So I feel you on that one. I mean, I would try as much as self-taught, but
mhm,
but you seem like you have like great potential with this, man. Like let me
yeah,
walk you. Yeah, look at the art and stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah. Thanks. Yeah,
so
I
this
mean,
is the girl, right?
yeah, that's her. Yep, that's the main girl.
Uh, yeah. Yeah, I see the African tribe and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really like design
oh,
characters, so yeah.
yeah, she's a cool looking character.
Thank you. Yeah, she's tight.
Where, where, where did where did you get that concept from? Like, did any like was it stuff that you seen and you just combined it with it, or
Like for the idea for the book in general, or like for her design?
for her character's design? There
Oh,
you go.
um, I honestly don't remember. It feels like a blur when like the initial stages of it.
Yeah,
I remember I designed like a bunch of different versions of her, and I was definitely leaning more into like the West African, like I don't know, like she had like a big old shield and she had like a spear originally, I remember,
yeah,
and like more armor and stuff. And then like I kind of gradually like took all the like more like armory weapony stuff away and kind of just trimmed the design down to just like almost like athleisure wear and then just like a sword. I just yeah, I don't even remember like where the inspiration for her came from. Usually I'll like design a character like based on someone I know loosely, and then I'll just like tweak like a bunch of stuff here and there. But like the skeleton of the character will be based on like someone. But I think she was just off the top of the dome. She was just like I just kind of kept working with it for like maybe a year, and I was working on another series at the time, so um, I wasn't even super sure if I wanted to make like Tempo a series. I just like wanted to design cool characters and maybe turn it into a series. But yeah, yeah, I wish I remember better how her design came about.
do you have a lot of readers like reading
Yeah.
on Tempo?
Um, yeah, it's hard to know like exactly how many. But yeah, I've sold out of the first issue a while back, and then I had to go back to print for it, and then I'm getting pretty low on them. I sold out of the second issue as well, so that went back to print. So I have like a decent amount of readers, not like half a billion or anything, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I appreciate all the readers left. I have a good base of people who support the series and stuff, and just support like all the other projects I do too, like on the side. I just finished a like zine, like a 20-page like smaller book of a bunch of rappers and then like their discographies, and it's just black and white and. It was just like a little project on the side, and I didn't even like post or advertise about it or anything, and people were still supporting it and stuff. So yeah, I have a good group of people that support the work.
Okay. What do you do on the side? Like, what is this
Yeah,
your
yeah. So right now specifically, I'm working on Tempo, and then I'm working on two client projects. One of them I'm coloring for. It's like a series about like trans-dimensional time, like traveling kind of thing. There's some travel, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm coloring that series, and then I'm also working on a more like far future sci-fi book kind of thing. And we're in the early stages, so I'm developing the characters and like designing the world and stuff, and we're figuring out the story. And then I'm also working on a project with two of my close friends. About another like more futuristic setting kind of thing. Um, and
right?
I don't want to like spoil too much about that one since we're still in the pretty early stages, but all those things are coming together pretty good. And then in general too, I usually like to make clothes once in a while. I'll make like hoodies, nothing like crazy. Not like from
Right.
scratch. I'll just like design the like designs that go on them. And then a manufacturer will actually make them for me. But yeah, I like to make hoodies and clothes and stuff. I think it just all ties back to the hip hop thing. Like I like every aspect of it, including like the the fashion. So yeah, I make like clothes on occasion. I do like little zines and stuff. I'll do a lot of like conventions and like pop-ups and stuff around the city. And just along the East Coast in general. And that'll take up a lot of time. And yeah, I think all of those are mainly like the side projects I do. So like the clothes and the client work, and then like maybe a little book here and there just for fun, and then like the conventions.
Did you go to that recent New York Comic Con, or did you visit
No,
that?
I've applied twice. I applied one year right after the pandemic, and I didn't get in that
Right.
year because a lot of tables on hold from like the year prior, I guess, from like before the pandemic. And then I applied this year and I also didn't get in. So I was like, ah, dang. So no,
Yeah.
I wanted to though. It seems really really cool. I mean, it's like the convention, other than like San Diego. So I think it'd be tight to do it one year. But yeah, it's like fiercely competitive getting a table there.
Yeah. I had a I was just looking at with the tickets, like they
Hmm.
people preparing for next year, like
Yeah, it's
October
crazy. You gotta
23rd.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah, it's.
expensive too. Like it's 500, like
Hmm.
$500 or something, like over 500 or something, just to, I think for one ticket. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know
Wow.
if you check the price, but I was looking at it. I'm like, this
Hmm.
is like my paycheck. Like,
That might have been
I'm like,
some like resale tickets. I don't remember how much the tickets to like attend are, but I know that the like tables cost around like 450 or 500 bucks to like exhibit
oh,
there. But yeah, it's pretty pricey. But I mean, with any like convention, like the cost of a table, I usually like plan on making it back at the convention. So for more expensive tables, it'll usually be like a longer show or like a bigger show, and there'll be like more foot traffic and stuff. So I'm usually like willing to go in on a more expensive table for a cool event. And New York is obviously a very cool event. So yeah, hopefully
yeah.
next year I can get a table for that.
So this is your livelihood, or
Yeah, kind of.
you
It's about half. The other half, I have a job at a comic book shop actually, and I do like inventory stuff, and then also like just normal clerk stuff too. But yeah, it's the perfect day job because I get to read every single book that comes out every week pretty much, and I read like a lot of comics. So
right?
yeah, I get to just read every book I want, kind of thing. Um,
Wow,
yeah,
that's
it's a good
cool.
job. Yeah, it's good to get inspiration and stuff from it.
Wow, yeah, that's fortunate you could do that. I don't like my job. I work at the library and stuff. I mean, I
Oh,
don't hate it, but it's like I put books on the shelves and stuff, and
mhm.
it's okay, but it's better than McDonald's. But it's
Yeah.
the thing kind of sucks. It's like I get paid bi-weekly and stuff, so
Mm.
so
Yeah,
you got to
yeah.
put all them books in. So
Yeah, I mean, that
yeah,
seems like I
now go ahead. I'm
volunteered.
sorry.
Oh, what'd you say?
No, no, it's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was just saying I volunteered in a library when I was in high school, for like a month or two over the summer, I think. And it seemed I just like books in general, so I think that part was fun.
Mm,
Um, yeah, I think I would maybe enjoy a library job too.
yeah.
Hmm.
What comic books you like outside like your creations?
Yeah,
Is there any?
well, I mean, I'll read anything that's like good, It could be like about any subject, like sports, like a cooking thing, like it doesn't matter. Like as long as the story's good, I'll read it. But I enjoy comics from Image, like the publisher. Pretty much most books that they release, I'm down for. You could probably see the bookshelf here, but like this whole shelf is just like Image books specifically, except for like towards the bottom. But yeah, so I really like Invincible, like in terms of superhero stuff. That's probably my favorite superhero book. That's by Ryan Notley and Robert Kirkman. It's really good. It's a good read. Um, I feel like I forget every book I know when someone asks me this. I like let me see. Oh, I like manga and stuff too, outside of just like normal Western comics. I really like Akira.
Right.
Akira is super good. I think manga has more of a variety, I think, of stories. So that's where like I don't know, like the cooking ones or the sports ones or whatever. That's usually where I'll find those kind of stories if I need to read those kind of stories to get inspired by something. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, anything that's like good. I like indie comics more than just like the normal Marvel and DC comics. It
Right.
just feels more personal, and they usually have more freedom to do what they want. But yeah, I'll read anything that's good. I'll read anything that's decent, and I read like pretty much every new book that our store gets every week. If it's like a issue number one, to at least like see what's going on, and then if it's good, I'll continue it onwards.
Yeah. I seen you do like a Spider-Man.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was a funny like on the Instagram. So that's like the main image, and then there's a few like sub images that people can scroll through. And it was just like it was a like funny short story where he beats the Green Goblin, and the Green Goblin like removes his mask thing. And in the original like show and like in some of the older comics and stuff, like Norman
Right.
Osborn has like he has waves, and I always thought that was funny because he's just like it's just so unexpected. He has that crazy widow's peak. So in that like Spider-Man drawing, I made him remove the thing, and then Spider-Man's like, whoa, like he gets nauseous. He's like seasick from the waves. Like it's like too much for him. But yeah, yeah, I'll draw like Marvel or DC characters once in a while, usually like in a funny setting like that. I feel like I rarely draw them like super serious. Like, you know, I'll save like the serious
Yeah.
stuff more for my own stuff, I think.
Yeah. I have it's an old classmate.
Hmm.
He's a comic book illustrator like you, and he's been doing it for like maybe nearly 20 years.
Yeah.
His name's Daniel Scott, and he worked
Hmm.
on Batgirl when Cassandra came.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, then he did like this comic called Sons of the Universe, something like that.
Hmm.
It was, I think, Will.i.am. He kind of wrote the story or something, and he just illustrated. He worked with like celebrities like Snoop Dogg and
Yeah.
what's his name, the what's Steph Curry, yeah, and like he
Hmm.
worked on this summer camp. He did like murals of it.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
dope. Yeah, it's cool.
yeah, he's like you. He was working on like a project with something. He was trying to incorporate hip hop with Marvel comics or something like that.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
doing a series of variant covers to a lot of their series when I was in high school, where they were like hip hop variants. So they would take like album covers and then kind of mash them with Marvel characters. So you had like the Mad Villain like album cover is like MF Doom, and he's like in black and white with the mask, and there's like an orange box in the corner, and then for the Marvel cover, it was Jane Foster Thor, and she had like the helmet, and it was black and white with the orange like box in the corner. So yeah, they're getting a lot of artists to do some really cold covers. Yeah, there was some good ones. There's some good Outcast ones too. But yeah, there's definitely like an overlap with like hip hop and I think just comics in general. The more obvious stuff like the Marvel hip hop covers and stuff. And then like more subtle stuff too, I think here and there will pop up even in like the movies and stuff. And I don't know, the choice in music sometimes. And yeah, I think there's a good cross section of the two.
yeah. If you had like a fit like a choice like with a favorite rapper, who would you want to work with?
um like a live rappers or just anyone?
Live rapper.
A live
It could
rapper.
be anyone, like I mean anybody, like anybody that
Uh-huh.
you like. Like who would you want to work with? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think for a live rappers, it would be really cool to get Lupe Fiasco. That would be sick.
oh
His
wow, okay,
Yeah, his music is dope. He's a great lyricist
yeah,
and he tells stories really good. So I think it'd be cool to have him. And he's also like into like the nerdy stuff. So I think it'd be a good fit. And then I think just like rappers in general, I mentioned MF Doom, but yeah, having him work on like literally anything would be like crazy. That would be sick.
yeah,
But yeah, definitely like Lupe Fiasco is the first one that comes to mind of a live rappers, I think.
Yeah, I remember like Wu Tang, like before,
Hmm.
like I think like around the 2000s, they was putting more of the comics a little bit. They was working with artists and stuff, like with Jizza, with his Liquid Sword album.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
yeah, he had like a sickle or something, and he's like cutting the dude and open or something like that.
Hmm.
And Method Man, he had a comic book. Like I don't, it's not brought out there too much, but he had a comic book one time. It was about him like being like this bounty hunter and stuff like that, like a League of
Oh, really?
Assassin type thing.
Huh.
Yeah, and
I know
yeah,
that.
it wasn't too bad neither. It wasn't
Hey,
too
really?
bad.
I don't
Yeah,
remember which member this is. I really haven't listened to too much Wu Tang, but I know one of them, or maybe it was a duo out of the group, has the album Iron Man. I'm pretty sure it's called. So they
yeah,
definitely,
Ghostface Killer.
yeah, and they have like, I mean, just throughout all the albums and stuff, and even like their individual projects, all the interludes and stuff are definitely like feel like watching like an old kung fu movie or like an old like
Yeah,
samurai movie kind of thing. So I definitely, yeah, I think Wu Tang would be cool as well. I just honestly haven't given them like enough of a chance. I've listened to like the classics, but I haven't like listened to all their individual like projects and stuff. So yeah,
yeah.
I would like to do that someday.
I mean, because they kind of like I would say they kind of put everything together with with 5% teaching street smarts
Mhm.
and comic book stuff and Method Man he's a really comic book fanatic and stuff.
Mm,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he's really into Inspector Deck too.
Hmm.
He's really into comics and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Did
yeah,
you do you watch like comic book movies like the past like
yeah,
months or something like in summer?
yeah, yeah.
What comic book movie you see?
The last one, the last like
Yeah.
comic book movie in general was Judge Dredd, like the more recent one.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, it was like I've read a lot of the Judge Dredd comics, honestly. But I've always been like kind of interested in the world, and yeah, I was doing a convention up in Washington, so me and my homie just like threw it on, and it was cool. It was a fun watch. But in terms of like,
Which one was Sylvester Stallone or the other dude?
nah, it was with God, what is his name? I'm
The
really,
one
really
was
bad with actors.
Star
It,
Trek. He was in Star Trek movie. He was as the Dr. McCoy.
I think so, and it was with the shorty, and he
Kurt,
had like blonde hair, and it was like kind of cut short.
yeah, yeah, that was the updated one. That was the updated
Yeah,
one. Yeah, she was a telepath in it. Yeah, I know
yeah,
who you're talking about.
yeah. It was cool.
Yeah,
It was,
that was decent.
yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing that. It was kind of more decent than the first with Sylvester Stallone. I think what messed it up because they were saying that I don't read Judge Dredd like that, but he
Hmm.
mostly like as you know like in the comic like he doesn't take off his helmet, and
Yeah,
so
no,
on the first one he's revealing his face and all that stuff. So
yeah,
people didn't really like that adaptation with him in it.
yeah. I mean, it's like
It wasn't all that good.
it for movies, like if you get like a really famous actor to play the character, like you're gonna want to show their face, like with Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man, like he's always taking that like helmet thing off and up and like doing all this stuff. And
Yeah,
in the books there's almost no reason for Iron Man to remove his his helm or anything. It would be like dangerous, but I think with movies,
right.
like they paid the big bucks to get the actors, and they want to show them off kind of thing. So that's probably what they were doing with the Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd, but I haven't seen it honestly. But yeah, I've watched pretty much most of the Marvel like movies, unless they were like, I haven't watched a lot of the shows honestly. I'm not too good at watching shows. I get kind of bored, and then I want to do something. But the movies, most of them I've pretty much seen. I've seen like some of the DC movies. I haven't seen a ton of them honestly. I just not a huge fan. I like the most recent Batman one though. That one was good with with the Twilight guy. He was solid.
Oh yeah, yeah, I seen that. I seen that like in the theaters. That it was good. It was pretty
Yeah, it
good.
was long too. It was crazy.
Yeah,
And sometimes it's like you open movies like pulling from the books and like doing it justice and doing like a good job to the source material. I think that was one of those examples. They're using like Batman Year One and like um maybe even like some, I don't know, but definitely Year One was definitely like an inspiration for that movie. It was dope. Yeah, I feel like
yeah,
some of the more recent DC movies might be not as solid, but I haven't seen them. I've only seen the trailers, and I'm like, well, it looks okay.
yeah. The last one I seen was the Flash movie. It was
Hmm.
so. I didn't really thought it. You know, I didn't. You know, the concept of it wasn't too bad, but it just how it
Hmm.
played out. It just kind of like, it was so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which that sucks because I feel like with superheroes, like popular superheroes turned into movies, if the movie like does well, it's like expected, but if the movie does bad, it's like never forgotten ever. Like the Green Lantern movie, like he's probably
yeah,
not going to get another movie for eons. Like
right,
the studios
yeah,
don't forget that kind of thing. So with the Flash like not doing super good at the box office, I feel like we're probably not going to see a Flash movie for like a super
yeah.
long time. And he's like a cool character, I think it sucks, especially if you're a fan of that character, seeing him like not get his good movie. But
Yeah,
yeah, so I can't speak on it, I guess. But yeah, it just sucks when a movie doesn't do good with like a cool character.
and the thing was, Michael Keaton, he played like a cameo in it.
Uh
And
huh.
so, yeah, because everybody was looking forward to it, but it just, even with that, they had Supergirl in it and him
Yeah.
as Batman and stuff. I mean, I thought it wasn't too bad. It was cool him in it, but it just they it kind of they was kind of making it to a point where it would be like the beginning for him,
Mm-hmm.
like in terms like a movie with him mentoring Supergirl and a Batgirl. They was planning to do that, but
Yeah.
because of of the Flash movie, it didn't do well. They canceled it, and you know
Yeah.
some people thought that it was better off him doing like a Batman's Beyond movie,
Mm-hmm.
that animation series
Yeah.
in the future. Yeah,
Yeah.
or like one of Frank, what's his name? Frank
Frank Miller.
Miller Batman and stuff.
Yeah, the Dark Knight
Yeah,
stuff.
right. Yeah, that would have been a good concept for him to be in, but him doing
Mhm.
that cameo with it just it didn't hold any weight. So they just said
Sure.
forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't like watch Michael Keaton Batman stuff when I was younger or anything. So I feel like even if I saw him, it wouldn't like do too much for me, Like
right.
I feel like those kind of cameos are sometimes a little gimmicky. Sometimes it's cool if it works for the story. Like the third like recent Spider-Man movie, where they had, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield
Mhm.
Spider-Man show up. Like I feel like that kind of worked for the story. It was still kind of gimmicky, but they were already doing the like multi-dimensional thing, so I think it was like a natural way to show them. But I feel like if you don't have like a good like setup for it or a good reason to have that kind of cameo, it kind of might be a little distracting, honestly, like from the rest of the film and the story. But yeah, again, I haven't seen that Batman in the Flash, so I can't speak on it.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I just, it's something I just bring up, comic book movies because,
Mhm.
like now it's not too, like, it's not a great adaptation at times with comic book movies.
Mhm.
It's not like, what's the best comic book adaptation movie I've seen? Not too many. Not, in my opinion. Like there's some decent ones, but there's
Yeah.
not like great ones. Like wow, I want to just I want to see that, that type of thing. So
Uh huh.
there's
I
always
think
like disappointments with it.
I'm trying to imagine. I think the hmm. I liked Endgame and stuff. I like Avengers Endgame. I think that was like
Yeah,
that whole like the 2-part movie was a good adaptation of Infinity War. Obviously
Yeah,
the
it was okay.
yeah, the comics can like squeeze in like so much more story and stuff and more
Right.
characters, and it would just be too crazy for a film. I feel like the time travel stuff wasn't super necessary, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, I think that was like an okay adaptation of like a comic book story, and I'm sure there's other ones. I think the Guardians movies are like really probably the
Yeah,
best.
that yeah, I forgot the Guardians. Guardian, it
Yeah,
was decent. Yeah, I like the third one was good.
yeah,
That was I think that was like the best one. I mean, in my opinion, from what I
hmm
seen.
yeah. It was
Yeah,
a really good film.
mm,
Yeah, it was like a good just like movie, like even outside of the context of like superhero stuff. So, but I don't read a lot of Guardians books. I've only read like the Brian Michael Bendis stuff. So, I haven't read a lot of the older stuff or a lot of the newer stuff coming out. So I don't even know what it would be adapting, like specifically what story. But I recognize like all the characters and everything, and all the cameo characters were cool too. I really like the dog Cosmo. That character is always very cool in the
yeah,
books. Yeah.
yeah. So like with Temple, like you you're just like a one man army. You don't have like a
Yeah.
team. You like colorist.
No,
Okay.
it's just me. Uh I can't I feel like I could get people on board to like work on a team on it. But I kind of
Yeah.
just really like having my hand in like all parts of the process. And if something goes wrong, it's just like on me. It's not like there's no one else I can blame kind of thing. And it I don't know. It's like my story and I want to make sure it's like told like really good. So yeah, I just do it all myself. I like write it, storyboard it, like pencil, ink, and then color it, and then letter it. And then I do all the crowdfunding stuff and everything to get it funded, and then yeah, and then I ship it to people as well. So I'm doing all the like conceptual stuff, all the like actual like drawing the book stuff, and then all the like back end stuff to like actually get the book in people's hands. And I think it's like I think there's no like better way to like learn all the like ins and outs of like making a comic and getting it in people's hands than just like doing it all yourself, at least one time. But yeah, like I said, I also work on like client stuff too. So with that, it's like working on a team, which is cool. I think it makes it a little bit quicker. But yeah, I for this I just like doing it all myself.
Yeah. What made you wanted to do like comic books? Like I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like throwing it out there. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of obvious you like read and stuff. But
hmm
what what kind of was it? Was it something that you just felt that you wanted to do, or
Um,
I don't know if
I mean, I've always liked like drawing, like since since as far back as I can remember, I've liked drawing. And then I kind of like fell in love with like telling stories and stuff. Maybe like in middle school, I want to say. So, I don't know, comic books just seem like the perfect like bridge between the two, without needing like a massive budget or a massive team or anything like that.
yeah,
For like film or something or television, like if you wanted to draw a scene with like 100 spaceships, like that costs money because you have to do CGI and then like animate all that stuff. But for comics, I could draw 100 ship fleet. Like it's just a matter of time, really. It's not like it doesn't increase the cost of a comic. So I like that there was like almost no limitations. I could just kind of do whatever I wanted. But yeah, so and then in high school for my first like published comic, our high school does like a grant project where every like senior submits an idea, and then and it has to be an idea that'll help better the community. So I submitted like this comic book called Black Man, and he was like the first black superhero in a fictional city. And I was one of the winners. I think there was 3 winners or 4 maybe, I don't remember, but yeah, I was chosen for that. So that helped fund like my first comic book, like the first like printed book. um yeah, and then I sold it at like our senior show, and it sold really good. And then I got there was also a comic shop over there called Cape and Cow Comics, and Aton, the owner, helped me co-publish like some of the later books too, all the way to like the 5th or 6th book. So yeah, it was I think it was just my love of storytelling and then just wanting to not be inhibited by like a lot of limits and restrictions. And then I think it coincided good with like the grant project, and it just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of met in the middle, and I could see the vision, I guess. I could see that it could do good, and then I can see that I really enjoy doing it. So seeing those two in tandem, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, like yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said before, man. I seen your stuff. I was like, wow, this is very impressive. I mean, I've seen other artists too. Especially melanin color,
Hmm.
if I could say that. And because like growing up, you didn't really see too many artists like that. Black people. I
Uh-huh.
think like in the '90s, I started like kind of seeing that with DC, but they had Static Shock and other like it was another universe to it
Yeah,
with
Milestone.
black artists and stuff. Yeah, Milestone, right? Yeah, I seen that. So
Yeah.
I think after that, that's when like I would say I would say like the evolved of urban like hip hop comics
Hmm.
started popping up, if I could
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, growing up, I mean, I didn't see like too many characters that I could like relate to, kind of thing. Not even just like um because there'll be like black characters and they'll be dope, but like it's hard to relate to like T'Challa because he's like a king of a nation, like I'm just going in high
Right.
school, so um yeah, so I think that was definitely part of it too. Just like pretty much any story I draw or write has like a black or brown lead in it.
Yeah.
Just so that I don't know, if another kid in high school reads it, they can, feel seen, I guess, and see that there are like, I don't know, people that look like them, and they could relate to in stories. Um, I think that's like an important thing to like see yourself reflected in like the, I don't know, things that you can look up to. Um, but yeah, I think there's a really good amount of like black and brown characters in more like indie books and stuff too. I think with like superhero comics, the characters like stories, they don't end, they just kind of go on forever. So characters that were made in like the 50s and 60s and stuff, and 80s and stuff, and even earlier, will just like kind of progress onwards forever. So it's kind of hard to add black and brown characters to the mix. They, I mean, obviously can make new characters and stuff, but I feel like they're less likely to like take a risk on something new, and they'd rather just keep making Batman comics, I guess, or whatever they're
Yeah.
making. Um, but yeah, I think we're in a really good period to find cool black and brown artists and writers as well. In addition to like the characters too, just more on the indie side of things, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. How far do you see doing tempo? Like what the
Um,
story was?
I think I could finish the whole story in like 16 books probably. But I'm probably gonna do like 6 books and then collect it into like a trade paperback, like a larger format. And
Yeah.
then maybe work on some side projects here and there, and then come back to it. But yeah, I definitely want to finish like this first like story arc. And I'm not super, I'm like medium far into the 4th book, so it's going pretty good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. How's the comic conventions like in where this was in what let me
It
see,
was in Charlotte.
Charlotte?
Yeah, Heroes
Yeah.
Con. Yeah, it was I mean, Heroes Con in Charlotte specifically is really awesome. There's just so many dope artists and stuff, especially from like Image. A lot of the pictures we're showing here is from like people from the Felix Art like group, I guess. They're like represented by them. But yeah, all those Felix Art guys are really dope. And doing conventions is tight because you get to like meet people who read the stuff in person instead of just online. Most of the sales I do are like through my website and stuff, but actually meeting people in person is dope. And then you could chop it up, and I'll usually do like a sketch in people's books. And yeah, just, I don't know, just networking and just like talking about comic books, and in a setting where there's everyone's just doing like the same thing but like slightly differently, is I don't know, it's just really inspiring. And that specific when you're showing Heroes Con is good because there's a lot of like peripheral events outside of the main convention. There's like an art contest, and they have like an after party where all the like creators and stuff go to, and there's a art auction kind of thing where you can submit pieces and then the money will go like to the show kind of thing. It's like a huge event. Um, yeah, so there'll be stuff all around Charlotte, like with various artists and stuff getting together and doing various things. So yeah, it's just like it reinforces the feeling of community, I think. Some making comics is just like you at a desk, alone, usually just kind of chipping away at it. But conventions help you like remember that there's like other people also working on uh on their own projects, I guess. And it's yeah, I like conventions. They're dope. I do as many as I can.
Yeah. What's like your what's a good advice for somebody that want to get into comics?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a few things. I think the most important piece of advice would probably be to like just start. I think beginning is like the hardest part. And then once you finally like get going, it's easier to just kind of keep adding pages and books and stuff. But I think a lot of
Yeah.
people get caught up in like, I need to set up like the perfect world. I need to make like the perfect characters and, tell a perfect story, and it has to be written all the way through and stuff. When in reality, like it'll never be like perfect. And, as you like work on it, time will pass and you'll have different interests, and your idea of what is really good might be different than when you started. So you'll just kind of be in the cycle where you keep restarting it. I think just choosing something and like just going with it and just like actually starting it. For the first book I had done like 10 pages and I was like, I don't like this, and I restarted it, and I just kind of kept, but finally actually starting it, I think is I don't know, like yeah, the hardest part I think, and the most important part. But once you're actually going, I think it's easy to like add stuff on. And then I think just like staying consistent. Um, it's not like I don't know how to describe it. Like it takes like even if it's just like drawing like for like 20 or 30 minutes a day kind of thing, just like something to work on the book, I think is incredibly important. And I think that enjoying the process more than like the final result is also super important. The People I know who like really like when they have the book in their hands and like that's what they strive for. I feel like tend to burn out quicker than people who just like enjoy the process of making the thing. It's that thing where like you'll walk farther if you love walking instead of loving the destination. Um, so yeah, just enjoying the process, and then staying consistent and then actually starting. And I think just with enough time, you'll make like a crazy super long series that's really good and stuff if you just like use those three like main things, keep those in mind. And starting just anything, you could be on your like sixth book and be questioning if you want to go a different direction and stuff, but eventually like coming to a decision and like going with it. So yeah, so just like being confident and like good to start on stuff, and staying consistent and just enjoying the process, I think are the main things I would tell someone.
Yeah. For you, like, you had anybody like giving you like some criticism or something like that, or
Yeah.
for you to
Um,
just like constant like draw and stuff? Because drawing it's not very easy all the time. Because
mhm.
there's times I'll be once in a while I'll draw and stuff, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's for me it's like it's I, I can't I forgot the train of thought, but you just have it's hard for me to be consistent at times,
Mhm.
because you don't know where that's gonna take you and stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I have like a good community of like peers who also make comics or own comic
mm,
shops or are writers or editors at various places and stuff. So if I'm ever feeling like kind of iffy about a part of a story, I'll send it over to them and they'll kind of let me know what they think. But with just like single illustrations and stuff, I'm usually like pretty confident and almost to a fault. I'm like, yeah, this is perfect. Like I don't need any insight. But yeah, I think when I am feeling a little shaky, I'll like send it off. But usually the shakiness is like a storytelling thing and not so much like the visuals themselves. Because for drawing, like my whole life, I kind of, did the charter art school and then a little bit of college. So I kind of, I know how to make a good thing, or like I know what is missing usually. But with storytelling, it's like more subtle for me. It's like more nuanced. So it's kind of harder to know like what's missing or what could be taken out and what could be added. So yeah, it's good to have like that community of people that'll, be honest with you and give you criticism. And then with the consistency thing you mentioned, um, I think it's just like, over time, I think you don't even notice like yourself getting super good. You just like kind of do it every day. And, if you really enjoy the process of doing it, then it's not like a crazy, ordeal or anything to just sit down and draw a few hours a day. But yeah, you just don't notice. And then one day you look back on older work, and then you could kind of, I don't know, see the like progression and the growth, I guess. um, yes, but I do agree. It's like harder to see if something is like good or not good, like in the moment, because you're just like in it. But hindsight is 2020. So in hindsight, I could look back and be like, okay, this was like not that good.
Yeah, 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 man. See you. Yeah, your artwork is cool, man. I really like it.
Thank you.
I mean, if it'd be like some animation type thing, it'd be dope. Like,
Yeah,
you get a team and stuff. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that's cool.
yeah. Well, I don't want to take too much of your time, man. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk with you.
Yeah, of
You
course.
know,
Thanks for reaching out.
yeah, no problem, man. Just not too long ago, well, last week really, I was interviewing a guy. He does like female muscle comics and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And he like just to have him on a show, he had to hide his face and change his voice and stuff.
Dang.
So because yeah, because people don't like they really don't kind of like dig that type of thing with female muscle, like women with muscles and stuff like that. So this artist that they kind of like I've been interviewing artists that do like bodybuilders and comics and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that. So
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I think you and another brother, he's a rapper and he do animation and
Hmm.
he was working on a comic and stuff like that. So
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's tight that you're getting a
yeah,
variety of different people on there on this.
yeah, yeah, I appreciate you, man. Like
Yeah.
giving me the opportunity to speak with you, man.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Thanks for taking the time.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, I mean, so to like to get your comics, you have to go online and stuff, and
Yeah. Yeah, you could get them on my website, kevinbetou.com. Betou is how you spell the last name. If not, you can also go on the Instagram and there'll be a link to where you could buy them. And the Instagram is KB and then the number two and then draws. And then beyond that, if you live in like the Savannah area or the Bay Area or in Washington, not but yeah, Washington State. Sorry, my books are there as well. So there'll be a few shops that carry them in those areas. But yeah, I think the best way would definitely just be to get them online, or if you happen to see me at a convention.
all right, no problem, man. Hopefully, I don't know. I ain't gonna say we see each other in New York, because like just trying to get over there, like that's
Mhm.
because you gotta do that ahead of time. I think the
Yeah.
last convention I went was in 2012,
Mm.
and that's a long time.
Yeah, you got to get back on
So
it.
yeah, yeah, but I wasn't like thinking about it like that. Somebody invited me, and
Mhm.
that's when I seen my old classmate. He was yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I knew he was like a comic book artist and stuff. So
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of yeah. Well, anyway, man, thank you for coming, man.
Yeah. Of
Appreciate you.
course.
And I'm
Yeah.
gonna check your comics out. I'm gonna
Yeah.
check it out definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna purchase
Please do.
one, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck with everything.
Thank you. You too, man.
No
Alrighty.
doubt.
Yeah.
All right, folks, this is it. See y'all later.
See ya.